What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles, the YouTube channel. Today we're doing a regionals question and answer for Virginia. Is it Roanoke? Is that the city it's in?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Oh, look at me remember stuff. All right, and if you don't know, it's standard, and none of the Guardian Rises and stuff is legal yet. So still just regular same stuff that we've seen. But maybe we'll see a new deck this weekend. I highly doubt it, but we'll see what happens. But you see, I'm joined with three new people. We got Connor, James, and Kevin. We've seen two of their faces before. James, we've never seen unless you watch a lot of the game videos of the League Cups. So we've seen James on there a lot. But let's go with Kevin since he's been on there the most. Kevin, what is your favorite accomplishment of Pokemon?
By far, in all my years of playing, my favorite accomplishment is a Mississippi cities that couldn't have had more than 20 people.
I hate you.
But I managed to reach the finals, and I had to play against a man by the name of Josh Marking.
Oh, never heard of him.
I was playing count them, two Great Balls in my deck, and I smashed his teeth in, and it was amazing.
Smash his teeth in. Is that what it was? He smashed me?
Exactly, yep.
I'm never letting you stay in my house again. That's what I get. Alright, Connor, how about you? You're next up. What is your favorite accomplishment ever?
Man, I wish I had something as good as Kevin did. Like, I wish I had a great ball story with Squeaky, but I was going to go with the real one. Last week, I got top 4 in Brazil, so that was pretty cool. So we're going to go with that one.
Congratulations, sir. And James, how about you?
The recurring nightmare of losing to you every time we record the games is pretty good. But probably top 8ing Nats 2011 with Tyranitar.
There you go. So yeah, as you can tell, both these players are like phenomenal. They know what they're talking about. Me, not so much. Haven't done so hot this year, but both these guys have won. James, you won a League Cup, right?
Nope, I've gotten second at all of them.
No, never mind. Have you topped regionals? You topped regionals though, right?
Yeah, I've topped 3 regionals this season, and then a bunch of old stuff from back before Connor was born.
Before he was born. Alright, so we're going to go straight to the questions. So the first question is, why is there no one from the New England area to talk about their local meta on the podcast? I guess because none of them wanted to do it, I guess?
My heart's in New York, if that counts, so...
Yeah. I don't know. I try to get Rusty Oh, you go, Connor.
Well, you said New England, and New England is, like, not close to Virginia.
Oh, well, then I don't know.
They're closer to Tennessee than New England, really.
But, I mean, and James mentions New York. I was born in New York. I don't know if that counts. But we'll go with that.
There we go. All right, so Connor, somebody asked you a question. Will Connor play Gardevoir?
Connor will not play Gardevoir.
Oh. There you go, straight up not playing Gardevoir.
Not playing it.
Poor Gardevoir.
All right. The next question is straight to James. Will James Arnold ever draw special metal energies?
Well, the reference for anyone that cares, which should be no one, because it's a Stephen Bates reference, is that States 2009, I was playing Dialga G, and he was playing Palkia, and I couldn't draw metal energies after drawing like 45 cards in my deck. I didn't draw a single metal energy. And I lost to him. And he likes to bring that up quite often.
Oh, that's not very nice.
No.
All right.
We'll keep him around.
All right. So here's the first like regionals question we have here. 3 options as one of us to help your Decidueye match a basic play. Wait, what? Hold on. Hold on, I gotta read this.
We don't pre-screen these.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, so what are some basic play tips against the big 3 decks while playing Decidueye? I don't even know what he's asking.
He's probably asking about Dark, other Decidueyes, and Volcanion, if I had to guess.
If he's playing Decidueye or just in general, though, he doesn't give a deck. I don't know. I'm just gonna skip that question right now. Sorry, Jeremiah. The next question is, what's the best deck this weekend that you won't play at this tournament? We'll go with James.
The best deck that I won't be playing this weekend is Decidueye Vileplume.
Ooh. All right, Connor. How about you? What you're not gonna play? That's the best deck.
Okay, the best deck that I'm not playing, that's going to be Turbo Dark. I think it's really strong right now, but I won't be playing it, so.
Oh, Kevin's thinking. What is it, Kevin?
I think I'm also gonna say Turbo Dark. I don't know. Like right now, I'm between Volcanion and Decidueye, and like those three are kind of the big three right now. So I guess I just have to say Turbo Dark.
Okay. All right. So the next question is just for James. It's from Ryan. He says, "Is Mega Blastoise to play this weekend? Even though Decidueye will be everywhere, would you still play Mega Blastoise this weekend?"
Mega Blastoise is always the play.
Is it really?
Yeah, I won a league challenge with it a couple months ago.
A league challenge.
Yeah, challenge. Yeah, it was really challenging.
That Spirit Link broke the deck.
It did. It was over after that, and now we get Aqua Patch, so new meta.
Alright, so let's see. So we've already talked about Decidueye. I mean, just in a couple minutes we've already made this video. Somebody said, is Decidueye Vileplume going to be big this weekend? Who wants to say no? Kevin's saying no. He's saying it's not going to be big.
Terrible deck.
Alright, Connor, here's my question to you. How many times did you play against Decidueye in Brazil?
I played against it 6 times.
That's a few.
And every single one of my losses that weekend was to Decidueye, so it was great.
And for those who know, Connor did play Decidueye as well, so could be a little big this weekend. If you haven't tested it, then you kind of need to start doing that right now. Just a little bit. Alright, so is Connor playing Excadrill in Toronto? That's not even Toronto, but Connor, are you playing Excadrill in Toronto?
So if I hit 1,000 Twitter followers, I will be playing Excadrill in Toronto.
Alright, what's that
Like
Twitter?
like one
Twitter?
Excadrill or like a
No,
whole...
no, like I will be playing the Excadrill deck in Toronto. My Twitter handle is at CondorTCG.
Say it one more time.
CONNDOR. It's at CondorTCG. CONNDORTCG. If you guys follow that, if I get to 1,000 followers, I will be playing Excadrill in Toronto. I'm not going to get to 1,000 followers. You guys have like 750 more to go. But if we hit it, I will play Excadrill.
Has this been posted in Burbank and Hey Fonte?
It's been posted in Burbank. Actually, it was posted in Burbank, posted in Hey Fonte, got taken down in Hey Fonte.
Of course.
It was posted in PTCG Hell, posted on Twitter. I retweeted a bunch on Twitter, but we need to hit 1,000 for me to play Excadrill.
I don't even know if 1,000 Pokemon players have Twitter.
I don't either. But we'll go with it.
Alright, so here's a really good question. Like the first, I don't know, good question. Does the Grass Energy Lugia Taurus version of Decidueye Plume have the advantage against Special Energy Jolteon Decidueye Plume? If so, quantize said advantage. So does... So James, he said he hasn't played Decidueye that much, so we're gonna go to Kevin and Connor. Have any of y'all tested the Special Energy version?
I have not. I'm just to clarify the question. Are they playing each other, or
Yes,
is it
they're
just like
playing each
each
other.
one against? Oh, okay. I would imagine Jolteon's kind of annoying to deal with because you can't really go Lugia, and there's not really any special energy hate in either deck. So I'd say probably the Rainbow would be better than Mirror. But I haven't tested the Rainbow version, so.
I haven't tested the Rainbow version either, to be completely honest with you, or the matchup. I do know that there's a lot of times in the Decidueye mirror where you get to like 230 on Decidueye and you kind of wish you had, if there was that extra 10 damage from Rainbow, it would be relevant. The Jolteon could be annoying to deal with, but I don't feel like it'd be too bad. You just have to attack with a Decidueye of your own, and they're only doing 70, which I guess you only do 90 with Decidueye, so I don't know if it'd be that much different than just attacking with a Decidueye, except for it just doesn't have a Feather Arrow, and it's a basic. And I feel like it's still pretty close. The matchup still seems pretty coin flippy to me. It still seems like a normal Decidueye matchup, just the Jolteon has a little bit of an added bonus, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting too if some people will include like Jirachi, like we originally saw with the Decidueye list.
Mm-hmm.
The no somebody was like, "Oh, you just put Jirachi, you just beat that mirror match, so maybe that could work out." But even then, like some Feather Arrows just knock out Jirachi.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's not-
the issue with Jirachi, is it's in the mirror match. It's actually useless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. All right. So. All right. So James, this is for you since I know you play Volcanion a lot. Parallel Volcanion, good or bad?
It's a mixed bag. It just depends on like what your initial setup is like, because if you if you don't get the Hoopa and everything immediately and also get the parallel down, especially against other parallel decks, it just ends up being another dead draw, and the deck is super consistent at certain points of the game and then not in others. So it's just Volcanian's a very strange deck, but I personally, the current list of Volcanion that I have doesn't have a parallel, but it comes in and out so often that it just depends on the day.
Okay. How about you, Kevin? Have you played? What do you think of parallel in your Volcanion decks?
I think Peril is very bad in Volcanion. Actually, I have a strong opinion on this. It's bad for you no matter which way it is on the table, and I'm not playing a card in my deck that hurts me. So
yeah,
that's my reason for that. I mean, you can play Skyfield, Scorched Earth, Rough Seas. There's so many other good options, and everybody's playing Peril anyway, so sometimes you can't even play it. I will never play Parallel in Volcanion.
Okay. And how about you, Connor? You tested Volcanion at all, or nah?
I haven't tested a ton, but from what I have tested, I agree with Kevin completely. Like, I just don't think it's good.
Yeah.
yeah.
So the next question, it's not for this format, but somebody said, is Volcanion still viable, or does Aqua Patch for Water Box variants and Greninja gaining Field Blower and Choice Band push Volcanion out of top tier? I don't know if anybody was talking about the new set or not, but can Volcanion still take down Aqua Patch decks?
Yeah. I mean, Volcanion one-shots things, so even if it's getting one shot in return, you can still set up situations where you're just trading prizes just like anything else. Especially, like, against the other water decks or anything, it's really not that big a deal. And Greninja does not exist anymore, so...
True. All right, so Kevin, the question's for you. Will Kevin be playing Groudon this weekend?
Not this weekend. I can pretty confidently say that. No promises on the next weekend in Toronto. Expanded. I'd be much more likely to play it, but I haven't decided on that yet.
So Kevin, have you even tested Groudon at all in standard format, or you're just like Chalk Beach does everything?
I like half tried to make a list for it, and then like you don't have Beach, you don't have Karina. At that point, the deck is just like Carving Break and Prey, and I don't like that.
All right. So here's my question to y'all: do you want me to cover any of the post, not post, but like after regional questions, or we not just worry about those? There's a bunch of them that are like, what do you think about this card for Guardians Rising? Not caring about this weekend, or should we cover those too?
We could throw all those at the end if you want, just
Okay.
like a little bit.
Yeah, because I know probably a lot. I know I haven't tested any of the new Sun and Moon stuff, so I have no idea what this stuff is. All right, so here's a question from Daryl. What would be the safest deck choice for Virginia? Let's go, Connor.
Decidueye, easy.
Really?
Like, I think it has the best matchups across the board. I don't think Decidueye has a matchup worse than like. I don't know. Everything feels 50-50 or better. Like, even Volcanion feels 50-50. So, I don't know. I think that the deck is just the best deck right now.
All right, how about you, James? Do you think something else is the safest play?
I 100% agree. I think that Decidueye is the safest play by far, and you just need to practice your match. Like, I think Darkrai is consistent and Volcanion's consistent, so both of those aren't bad choices or anything, but Decidueye is the safest call because there should be the most Decidueye in the top 32.
Okay. And finally, with you, Kevin, do you have another answer, or do you think Decidueye is safe play as well?
I do have a different answer. I will agree that Decidueye is the best deck in the format, but I can't really call it the safest because it's a little less consistent than the others. Because at least for me, safe means like I can play a supporter every other turn instead of like every turn and still have a decent chance of winning. And like it feels to me like Volcanion and Zerwadark are better at that just because they do more with less. Like they can just play a basic and attach energy and stay in games that way. If you brick with Decidueye, there's no coming back. So I would say that safe for me is more consistent, and that would be either Volcanion or Turbodark.
For the record, if you guys wonder, I think Mega Mewtwo is the safest play this weekend. I don't know. Alright, so let's see. Opinions on Gyarados going to Virginia. Seems like a safe deck to guarantee day 2, but not to win an event. I'm not sure. I don't think any of the... I know Connor hasn't. I don't think Kevin has. James, have you played Gyarados at all?
I've playtested with it and was super high on it right before, like, during Athens time. But after Decidueye, every time I see a Gyarados, I wonder how it got there.
All right, how about you, Connor? I know did you have to play against any Gyarados or see any Gyarados going to Brazil?
I did not. I know Sam Huff did play the deck and did make day 2, and he lost to like 5 Decidueyes over the weekend. Like I feel like the deck has very good matchups across the board except for Decidueye, and like we said, Decidueye is probably the best deck right now, and you can't go into a tournament just auto losing to Decidueye.
True.
But if you miss the Decidueyes, I think you are pretty well positioned to make day 2. Like I think it has a good Volcanion matchup, it has a good Turbo Dark matchup, and it has a good like Mewtwo matchup. So
Yeah. So
if you are lucky and miss Decidueye, it's good.
Just don't play against Decidueye, and you can easily make day 2. What they're basically saying. Let's see, Kevin. What do you believe is a sleeper deck to win this weekend? If there is any sleeper decks, I don't think there is going to be one.
Yeah, it's hard to break through, like, because the top decks are so good against, like, random stuff. I'd have to think about it. I can't really think of anything that would actually beat enough things. I mean, like they said, you can find something that beats 2 of the 3 most of the time, but then just hard loses to the 3rd one. I'd have to pass. I don't know.
All right, James, how about you? You know any sleeper decks that can win this weekend?
If I was picking a sleeper deck for the weekend, I'd pick Umbreon Zoroark. Shout out to Russell.
Okay. And how about you, Connor?
I don't know how sleeper this is, but I would say like maybe Mega Rayquaza. Like I know it hasn't had as much play recently, but I think it has okay matchups against those big 3 that we've been talking about. Against Turbo Dark, I think it has a pretty okay matchup. Against Volcanion, it's got a pretty good matchup. And it can definitely take games off Decidueye just with Hex Maniacs, and as long as it goes first, the matchup's okay. So I'd have to go with, like, that's like the lowest tiered deck, or like the lowest down the chain deck that I could see doing well this weekend.
I'd have to agree with James, too. I mean, Russell's been, like, shoving Umbreon, like, everywhere. And, I mean, when you play against this, sometimes like, man, this deck's really good, and then you don't set up and you just lose sometimes. So I don't know.
Yeah, I could see it doing well. I don't know if it will, but I would not be shocked if one made it.
All right. So Israel Sosa said, would it be wrong to win by 6 in Virginia instead of Toronto, or do I have to win Toronto no matter what?
Has he won one without Dark Patch? Or have they all been with Dark Patch?
They've all been with Dark Patch.
They've all been with Dark Patch.
Well, then, I mean, yeah.
I mean,
maybe when Water Patch comes out, he can win a standard tournament.
So, like,
why not both?
He has to win his 6th win in Toronto, though, because, like, 6 is, like, their home number. Like, they have to. Like, that's, yeah, like, why would you not?
That's true. That's true, too.
Yeah,
it's meant to be.
So, don't even go to Virginia. You're just going to bomb, and just instead, just go to Toronto instead. So.
And then when you win your 6th one in Toronto, you just move to Toronto and live there now. So,
or you just, like, message Drake, and he'll, like, probably make a rap song about you or something. Alright, so somebody said, why isn't Ahmed in the video? Because we have Connor, which is probably the better Ahmed, right?
I don't know. I don't know about, like, I don't know how I compare to Ahmed. Like, other than that we live in the same area and are both on Monstars.
Yeah, like, you only have, like, 1 member. There's, like, 2 is too many. Like, I'd be playing favorites if that was the case.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I don't know about calling me the better, I don't know. I'm not a large Arab man, so I don't know how well we compare.
Yeah.
You fooled me.
Yeah, not yet.
Alright. So we talked a lot about Decidueye, Dark, and all that kind of good stuff, but there's been a lot of hype around, like, Lapras. I know Benjamin won, like, a big tournament back in, like, over in, somewhere in Europe. I don't know exactly wherever it was. And a lot of people have been on this, like, Lapras hype. Why? I mean, is it a good play? Is it a bad play? What do you think, James? Have you tested against Lapras at all?
I've tested a lot of it, and I like the deck. I don't know if I like its matchups, but I like the deck. And I keep finding myself, like, picking decks that, like, possibly have a shaky matchup to the optimal Lapras draw. But I also have been finding myself being okay with that. So maybe I'll be wrong this weekend.
Okay. I'll be a Connor. You think Lapras has any way in this format?
I think we'll see Lapras in day 2. I think the deck is good. But I don't know if it's, like, good. I don't think it'll win the tournament. I think it's okay. I'm not in love with the deck, but it's not the kind of deck that I like to play either. So I don't know. We'll see.
All right, Kevin. I know that's one of your favorite kind of decks is Lapras. So, how do you think it's gonna do this weekend?
It's the exact opposite of how I like to play. I'm sure I've ranted about these kind of decks before on here, but I will say it's okay as far as being a good deck goes. It's one of those, like I said before, that can beat two of the main decks, but not all of them. Like it does pretty good against Dark, and it usually beats Decidueye, but it doesn't beat Volcanion. And then I think what kind of pushes it out for me is that it's also kind of shaky against the Mega decks like Rayquaza and Mewtwo, because you have to run like really hot, in my opinion, to beat those decks with Lapras. So I hate the deck because I just don't like how it plays, but like as far as what it's good against, I also think it's not amazing.
Yeah, I mean, after playing it, like it does do good, but you have to like run really hot as well. Like luck is definitely like it has to be on your side that weekend if you want to win. All right, somebody said who will win with what? All right, so you can't pick yourself, but who is going to win this weekend and with what deck are they going to play? Let's go with Kevin since you went last.
Oh man, who's gonna? I don't know. Pat, put me at the end.
All right,
I gotta
Connor,
think about it.
How about you, Connor?
This is a hard question. Who's going to win and with what deck?
Yeah, you have to answer both. You can't be like, all right.
We're gonna say Ahmed with Volcanion because we're talking about Ahmed. So.
All right, how about you, James? Are you picking your teammate
Uh,
or no?
I think Connor's beaten me in the finals with Decidueye.
Ooh, okay. All right.
I'm okay with that.
All right, how about you, Kevin? You had to at least pick somebody who's on your roster, right, Kevin?
Yeah, that's true. Did I drop you yet? Because you are on my roster. Forget if you're still on my roster or not. I'll say Carl's gonna win with Volcanion. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Ooh, all right, sounds good. All right, Carl. The next question is from Carl, and it says, "Do you believe?" Like literally.
Apparently, apparently I believe. I didn't know it until just now, but apparently I believe.
It was meant to be.
That's so funny. All right, let's see here. Everything else is about the next set. There's a lot of stuff about the next set. I don't know. Somebody sent me a message. Let me see if this is... Oh, nope, not Virginia related. Okay, so yep, everything's literally about the new set, which... so going into this weekend, like, how many players think this is going to be? Like, I know at the beginning of the year we saw, like, a ton, but now we're, like, going nearest the end. A lot of the players that aren't even close to invites might not be going anymore. Or they might be going because of money. This is, like, something we've never had to deal with. Do you think it's going to be, like, a large attendance? What do you think, James? You played this game for a long time, and you've seen it kind of transform over the years.
Yeah, I think it'll be the same size as like Fort Wayne and Athens. It'll be like in the 600s for Masters.
Okay. What do you think, Connor? Do you think it's going to be 600, or do you think it's going to be a lot less?
I saw they had pre-reg numbers. I saw somewhere online today. It said 470 as of right now pre-reg for Masters. I think it's going to be... He said Fort Wayne, I think it's going to be closer to like a Dallas or an Anaheim regionals, like around the like a little over 500 in that area. But still, like I think we'll hit prizes like with a prize increase, but I think it'll be just over it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, what about you, Kevin? Do you think it's going to be maybe something lower or higher?
No, I agree with Connor. I saw the same thing he did, so probably low to mid 500s.
Okay. All right. And I know the Meditech, they're actually streaming it. And what's one thing that you hope like a local stream has? I know the local streams can't have like the cool like prize cam and stuff like that. But what's one thing that Pokemon has brought to streaming that you want to see, or something that's never been brought before? I know a lot of people talk about streaming and how they want to build their community up, but what's one thing you want streamers to have? And Kev, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with generic Pokemon T-shirts over team jerseys. That was pretty cool.
All right. How about you, Connor? You got something else?
I like some of the stuff that they did at Dallas. They did what was it? Mr. Wren did. I believe he did Dallas. They had the commentary was really good, and then I like for top 32 they had everyone's picture they put up. That was kind of cool, I guess.
It's like player profile cards.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. How about you, James?
Something that I noticed, like when I was playing Magic and what they did in streaming, was they always have access, like the commentators have access to the players who are playing's deck lists. And maybe they don't like reveal all of the tech, but that way the commentators like know exactly what could or couldn't happen as they're describing what could or could not happen. And I think that that could really help like inform gameplay.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a cool thing to do. Like, I don't know. It's like you don't want to reveal too many tech stuff. But if something's like really obvious, it'd be cool to show people that don't really play or haven't paid attention that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like
They usually have that at the official streams, where like the commentators will have the deck list in front of them.
yeah. So. All right. So there's some questions on the stream. Somebody said, "So I'm feeling Mega Ray for Virginia. Is that a good idea or a bad idea?" We'll go with Connor since you played probably Mega Ray the most out of these three.
If I were to play anything other than Decidueye this weekend, it would probably be Mega Rayquaza. Now, I don't know if that's because I think the deck is good or just because like I like to play the deck. I think it's okay. I don't think it's bad. It's got okay matchups. The issue is that the deck it doesn't draw very well all the time. If you run hot with Mega Rayquaza, you're beating almost everything. So that's good. But it doesn't run hot all the time.
Okay. How about you, Kevin? What do you think about Mega Rayquaza?
It's fine. Go first. That's what I would say to you. Helps a lot. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't play it over the top 3 decks, but you can reasonably expect to do pretty well.
All right. What about you, James? Do you think Mega Rayquaza has a play at all?
I think that if you've been waiting to play Mega Rayquaza, then this would be the weekend of the last like few weekends to play it, because a lot of the people that were playing like Wobbuffet X decks have moved on from those and will just end up playing one of the top 3, so you don't have to worry about your opponent starting Wob nearly as much as you would have maybe a month ago.
All right. So this next question is for Volcanion, which I know Kevin and James can answer pretty well. Entei, Salamence, or neither of Volcanion. I know at the beginning of the season we had like Entei and almost all the Volcanion decks, and that kind of died off. And then Flareon, someone popped up, and then now Salamence is like a big presence in these Volcanion decks. But would you play any of those in your Volcanion decks this weekend? James, how about you?
Entei's fine. I think Salamence is awful, and I never understand when I see it. Like, it doesn't fix any matchup that you can't already win, and it also shouldn't fix the Mewtwo matchup that you should already lose. So,
all right. And how about you, Kevin?
Once again, I'm going to say almost the opposite of what James said. If we were just agreeing, it would be boring.
Exactly.
Entei, I think, is just not a good card. It like only helps against Mega Ray, and like maybe other Volcanions if they play Skyfield down. But Salamence, I currently have Salamence in my deck. I used to play neither, but then there were like a ton of Mega decks and Darkrai decks in my area, so I ended up putting it in. But yeah, it gives you a shot against Hex Maniac when you're playing against like the Mega decks, or like Mega Ray mostly. And then it helps a little bit with Darkrai. Usually you don't need it against Darkrai, but you know, again, if they play Hex, especially if they play multiple Hex, it helps a lot. And then it doesn't do a whole lot in Mewtwo because you kind of just lose, but it gives you a fighting chance if they kind of skip a beat. Or also if they like Hoopa for their entire Mewtwo line and they don't know you have Salamence, then you can like take a game 1 with that and then maybe hope to sack them out of another game.
That's true. All right, Connor, so this is you since you played Vileplume so much. How do you counter Vileplume decks?
Go first. Is that a good answer? Like, I don't know. Go first is my best. It's like, Hex Maniac's good. I don't know. I feel like these are all things we've heard about. Wobbuffet is okay. If we're just talking about countering it, you gotta play like I think if you're not playing Hex Maniac in a lot of decks right now, you should be. I know like there was a Turbo Dark list that did well in Brazil. I think you should have played a Hex Maniac personally. I mean, that's about it. Those are important cards.
There you go. Fair enough. So at the beginning of the year, Evotook Garbodor was like everywhere and has died off, and nobody's really heard of it. So thoughts on Evotook Garbodor? Going to you, James.
I really like that deck. I think it's fine. It just depends on how you build your list. I could see it still being viable for this weekend, so I wouldn't be shocked if it's. You can build it in a way that's really good against Darkrai and Volcanion, and like your Decidueye matchup is not in your favor. But if you just get paired against a bunch of Darkrai and Volcanion and have the right list, I think you could get there.
Okay. How about you, Connor? Evotook Garbodor has a shot in it.
I think it has a very bad Decidueye matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't play Beedrill, maybe you can sneak away a game with like a Garbodor if you get it out under Plume Lock. Like if you get like a turn 1 Trubbish Floatstone and then turn 2 Garbodor and they're not playing Beedrill. Just like, I don't know. Other than that, I think it has a very bad matchup. The Tauros is hard for it to deal with if you're playing the Tauros. You're not one-shotting it, so you just have to deal with the fact that it's going to take a couple prizes. So, I don't know.
And how about you, Kevin?
I think it's better than its current level of play is giving it credit for. Like, it's still a solid deck, and very few people are playing it. I think you have to be playing like the Wobbuffet Olympia kind of thing just to like have a shot. So I would say I wouldn't recommend it, but it's not a bad deck.
Okay. All right. So this next question is a pretty interesting question, like a good tip kind of thing. Do you guys have any tips on dealing with tournament nerves, and how do you guys deal with it? And we'll go Connor first, since you just recently made top 8 in Brazil. How do you deal with nerves and stuff like that? Top 4, sorry.
So I'm absolutely terrible with nerves. Like I get very, very anxious and very nervous at tournaments. Maybe not at the beginning of the day, but like when we're getting towards like, oh, I have a win in the next round, or there's like, can I ID here? Can I not? Like I'll get really nervous about whether or not I can do stuff like that. I pace a ton at tournaments. Like I just end up walking around kind of aimlessly. This last weekend I did. They've been a lot of players have been carrying around hot hands. I carried on a packet of hot hands in Brazil, and it was like playing with that a whole bunch, just having something to like, I don't know, something to fiddle with to try to get rid of the nerves. I don't really have a good answer how to get rid of them, because I still deal with them a lot. But I don't know, I just deal with it.
All right. How about you, Kevin? How do you deal with your nerves, if you have nerves?
It kind of happens less now, but it did like a while ago. I would say the biggest thing is just playing more tournaments and just like getting used to the experience. It's hard to like just get rid of them with a quick fix. Really, just if you've been in this situation before, it's less scary. So I'd say just practice, try to get better to the point where you're winning more, and then once you win more, you'll get used to it, and then it won't be as big of a deal.
Okay. And last but not least, James, I know you've dealt with a lot of tournaments, and like you said, you made top 8 at nationals. And how do you deal with nerves?
Something that my dad always told me when I was like starting out playing card games when I was younger was that just think about like you're playing the game, and you play the game because you love it, regardless of if it's a money match or if it's like you're getting up there in a big tournament or anything. Like, and just to like think about and just play as if it was like in the back of your local card store, just hanging out. Like it's just a game of Pokemon, and that kind of just has always helped me like focus on that and just have fun with it. So that's what I usually do.
Yeah. All right, there we go. So now we're gonna answer some Guardians Rising questions, which some of these are like fairly easy answers. Like, will Garbodor or Top Lele be played immediately? Of course. Like, like those are both the best 2 cards in the set. So yes, that cards will be played immediately. But this is a really good question. Somebody said, will Lily be a staple one of in certain archetypes now that you get it turn 1 with Tapu Lele? Like you just turn 1 Tapu Lele, Lily for 8 cards, or would you ever waste that or not? Let's go Connor.
So I mean, certain archetypes is very vague. I think yes, some decks will definitely play Tapu Lele. I think that maybe even like the Tapu Lele you're talking about, you said Tapu Lele Garbodor. Like if you're playing like 3 or 4 Tapu Lele, why not play the Lily? Because you're going to get it. But if you're playing like 1 Tapu Lele in your deck, you're not going to play Lily. It's just not consistent enough.
That's true. All right, how about you, Kevin? Do you think Lily's going to be good in Tapu Lele?
Yeah. I, for one, am planning on playing like 3 Tapu Lele and everything. So, yeah, I'm going to say Lily's probably pretty good. I haven't put a ton of thought into it. Obviously, I haven't tested much, but if you're playing a bunch of Tapu Lele, Lily should be pretty good.
All right, how about you, James? I know you like your special supporters.
Yeah, Tapu, I'm pretty excited for. I love my one-ofs, but Lily definitely is going to see a lot more play than she has, and I don't think it'll be kind of like what Connor was saying. Like if you're just running 1 Tapu Lele in whatever deck, then I don't think you'll be playing the Lily more often than not. But I also think that like moving forward, if we don't get like a Versus Seeker reprint, then we'll build decks like we did when we didn't have Versus Seeker before, and they played Bianca, so you'll definitely be playing Lily.
That's very true. Someone said, will you and Chumley from Pawn Stars have a celebrity boxing match? I don't know, man. That man's me to jail. I don't know if I can deal with that.
Can we call the boxing match like Battletoads, or fit Battletoads in the title somehow?
Just like even more clickbait. All right. Let's see. We've already answered these. Oh, this is a good answer or a good question. Now they have a search card for supporters. Will Maxi/Archie variants be possible without Battle Compressor? I don't know.
Maybe.
No.
I mean, I don't remember all of the trainers in the new set, but if there's like a decent amount of burnable cards, maybe. Yeah. Probably not, though. Battle Compressor was a pretty big deal.
All right.
Like I was saying about Mega Scizor earlier, it'll be playable in the way that you can put it on your deck list and turn it in.
For those who don't know, somebody asked if Scizor
I could see it winning a league challenge.
You know,
Mega Blastoise.
Yeah, I can see Mega Blastoise winning a league challenge though, so I'm not saying much.
Oh, speaking of league challenge decks, James, what do you think of Mega Tyranitar Decidueye as a deck?
Anything with Tyranitar in it is solid gold.
All right, guys, what is y'all's opinion on the new Sylveon? If you know what that card does, I can't remember on top of my head right now.
It's for 1 fairy. It searches for any 3 cards out of your deck. It's like a better Lapras. I'm more annoying to play against Lapras because they like, instead of collecting for 3 cards, they're just searching their deck for whatever they need to just ruin your day. They're just gonna do it over and over again, and you can only play so many ends before they just completely ruin your day. It's no fun to play against. I have actually played a couple games against Sylveon, and it's just not fun.
It's got that attack too that returns Pokemon to your hand or something.
Yeah, and that's GX attack. It puts 2 Pokemon from your bench into your hand. So you have 2. Oh, look, I have 2 Volcanions on my bench that are fully powered up, and then Sylveon says no, put them back in your hand, and it'll just part the energy off your active while we're at it.
Hey, at least the good thing with Sylveon is they don't have a rough seas, so at least something going for you.
But then, yeah, go ahead, come on.
You're good.
I was like, they could play like a card like Max Potion or something because it's just 1 energy to go get the 3 cards. Like, it's much more reliable to go get these hammers and stuff than it is in Lapras where you're trying to draw into them. So,
just more reasons to play Vileplume. All right, so let's go to 1 to 10. How spicy is Sun and Moon Skarmory as a tech in Turbo Dark? James, let's go.
No.
Ooh, just straight up no. Not even a 1 through 10. All right, Kevin, how about you? Is it a spicy tech in Turbo Dark?
I don't really see why you would play it in Turbo Dark. Maybe in something that already plays DCE. I don't know, maybe like a Mega Ray, just because you're trying to play random basics anyway, or something like that. It's not a bad card, but I don't see why you'd put it in Turbo Dark.
All right, what about you, Connor?
So I think the reason they're putting it in Turbo Dark is for the Jolteon Decidueye matchup, I'm assuming. I don't know, I can see it winning a league challenge.
Mega Blastoise.
But that's not saying much, is it?
Yeah. All right. Someone said, how do I beat Decidueye, Espeon, GX with Solgaleo Lurantis?
Well, you probably don't.
I don't even
You can play
know
it.
what's going on in this matchup. Like, is there Decidueye Espeons out there? That's
Yeah, you just named 2 decks that don't really exist.
and Lurantis. I mean, Lurantis Solgaleo was a deck I liked for a second.
It top 16 to regional. We'll give it that.
Probably won a league challenge.
Yeah, I'm sure it's one challenge. Maybe even a cup. Maybe. I don't know if that's stretching it or not, but maybe.
Who knows?
Alright, someone said it's my last regionals for internationals and then I go to Masters. What should I expect from senior division at Virginia if you could say anything? And Connor, I know people will be looking at you. How do seniors deal in their division? If you're a senior, Connor, what would you play this weekend?
I played a Decidueye Plume.
Really?
as I've been saying, I'll play the Masters too. So I don't know. I feel like if you're good with the deck, you can. I don't know. You can a lot. If you're a bad player playing against Decidueye, it's like very hard to win, even if they don't draw great. Although you can't just draw bad too. Like Kevin was saying, sometimes the deck does brick. But I think Decidueye is just really, really good.
I agree with that.
No matter what division you're in.
I agree with that statement. All right, Kevin. Thoughts on Vespiquen?
What kind?
That's all we know.
It takes a hard L to the old Owls, so I would say probably not the greatest. That's all I got.
Okay. All right. There's a lot of questions coming out of nowhere. James, thoughts on Tauros Garbodor right now in the meta without Tapu Lele and stuff?
I wouldn't play it right now. I think that the Garbodor, like, people have in their mind that it beats Decidueye as long as you go first, and that's not how it usually ends up working out. So I think you need to try and beat that deck with brute force through things like Darkrai and Volcanion. Also, you take a hard loss to Lapras, and your Mewtwo matchup isn't that good either. So.
This question has popped up multiple times by the same person. I forgot, Caleb. Sorry. Someone said thoughts on Espeon Wob for this weekend and what matchups do I not want to see with that deck? Has anybody here played Espeon Wob or have any kind of ideas with it? James, let's go. What matchups do you not want to see and how can it do this weekend?
You don't want to see Kevin Baxter. You don't want to. The problem with Espeon Wob was it was a lot better when there was a lot more Mewtwo, and I don't think there's enough Mewtwo now to justify it. I think that it ends up being a worse Umbreon Wob, is my personal opinion on it.
All right. I think you're better off playing the Umbreon variant than Espeon.
Yeah.
The problem was it doesn't go back into the Wob like Umbreon does.
Yeah.
Someone said play Decidueye Jolteon. Thanks, Connor.
Well, I never said play Jolteon. I do agree with the Decidueye part.
I'm just reading what they wrote. Just reading what they wrote here.
Well, they're misinterpreting what I'm saying.
All right, so Connor, I guess this question's kind of for you because I don't know anybody else. Oh no, this question's more for Kevin. Connor, you've played this deck, but not this version. I don't think you have. Kevin, what are your thoughts on Turbo Gardevoir Brilliant Arrow?
Well, I think you probably are going to want to try to fit in a Regirock and a Snorlax GX. But seriously, it's okay. The problem with it is you need the Geomancy like 2 or at least 2 times, usually 3. And at that point, so many of the decks nowadays are just like already winning the game at that point. So yeah, I mean it's just a little bit slow. Maybe if you can fit like a ton of healing in it somehow also, but that just sounds like a lot of cards to fit in the deck.
Yeah. Oh, and Connor, he said it includes Plume. It's not just Decidueye Jolteon. It's
I understand that. I'm just saying.
Look, I'm just saying.
You should play the grass energies instead of the rainbows. And not the Jolteon.
And for those who don't know, you can play the gold grass energies this weekend.
There you go.
Yeah, play.
Go open up a bunch of Guardians Rising. And so you pull 4 grass energies out of it.
Then he just said, fight me. So.
I mean... Is it okay to like beat up children in where you live?
I don't know. Okay, we're gonna keep on going. All right, so the next question we're gonna say is for James, since we're both at the same League Cup, and back to back we saw Mewtwo like dominate, like it won both weekends pretty easily. Why do you think we'll see a lot of play of it this weekend, and why or why not?
I think that you'll see a fair amount of it. I would expect to like be prepared for the deck, but I also don't think it's going to be played over the top like Decidueye, Darkrai, and Volcanion. And I think that there's a lot less Gardevoir this weekend than there has been, so maybe Mewtwo can get there, but I don't know. I think that it was a lot better against these Wobbuffet decks. Like it was kind of like the like counter game because Decidueye popped up and then everyone played these Wobbuffet decks that basically all lost to Mewtwo. And now it's kind of moving away from that and back to just like Darkrai, Volcanion, and Decidueye. So,
all right. Anybody else have anything else to say about Mewtwo?
It's pretty good. It's just like a little less consistent than the top decks, so you're going to stumble more often. But if you set up, it's good. That's kind of the story for everything, though.
mm-hmm.
True. All right. Well, guys, do you have anything else you want to say before we head out for this weekend? Nope.
No.
All right,
Good luck,
guys.
everybody.
There we go. So this weekend, like I said before, there is a regionals happening in Virginia. If you haven't got that at all for some weird reason, this next weekend
Wait, what?
Next week is Toronto, right?
Yeah.
And that's still not Guardians Rises, correct?
Right.
No Guardians.
All right. So we still got a little while for Guardian Rises to even come. I think it's like Seattle's the first one, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But yeah, don't worry, guys. We'll have another question answered next week, maybe with some of the same people. I don't know what to see. But guys, good luck this weekend. Thank you, Connor, James, and Kevin for doing this. I really do appreciate it a lot. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the live stream or the video, whatever you're participating in. Hit that subscribe button. Connor, what are you write for? Nothing now?
I don't write for anywhere right now. No.
James, anything you want to shout out to?
Shout out to my teammate Alex Hamilton. And other than that, I'm not writing or streaming right now, but I'm looking into all that stuff. So keep an eye out.
Connor, how about you? Any shout outs to anybody? Nope. Answers
Oh, was that to me?
Yep, I said Connor. Do you have any shout
Oh,
outs?
it cut out. I just assumed you said Kevin. I guess shout out to Monstars. And you guys should all follow me on Twitter at CondorTCG. Let me hit that 1,000. I want to play Excadrill in Toronto. I really do.
All right, Kevin, how about you? Any shout outs to anybody?
I just like to say in general, there's a lot more content coming out now that there ever used to be, and it's just making the quality better and better. So really, if you want to get better, check out all of them, at least a little bit. Just like most of them have free portions, so kind of see which one you like the best, and then maybe subscribe to something. But there's just so much good content out right now. So yeah.
All right, guys. But thank y'all once again for helping out. If anybody makes top 8 this weekend, they want to interview, let me know. We'll try to get. Sorry, Connor, but you betrayed me. You went to roll, so.
Well, I was gonna do you like right after that, and then you just like you blew me off.
Don't lie. You're not allowed to be like that. I'll accept it though, since he's like your playmat. He's like your baby, so I'll accept it.
He is my playmat. And we have a special Raul surprise in tail for Virginia regionals.
I don't even know what that is. That sounds.
I mean, there'll be more Raul with me than ever before.
I hope it's a shirt. I hope it's shirt and pants. Raul just on your pants, like a jumpsuit, like a whole jumpsuit. It's just
like a jacket.
I'm just gonna cosplay as Raul ready for Virginia regionals.
It is his home state, is it not?
It is. That's right. Yeah, it is.
Here we go, guys. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. Alrighty, bye. Alright, guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.